Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More. Today I am discussing the meal plan that I developed over a couple of months that have been successful for losing 65 pounds, give or take, probably exactly though, in the past year or so. Probably maybe a year and a month, year, 2 months, but honestly, it's something that I probably could have done better in because it took me some time to develop. So once I did nail it, it was exactly the way I wanted it to be. I enjoy everything I eat. I enjoy the way that it affects my workout and the way I feel throughout the day. And I'm going to discuss some of the basic principles behind it. To give you everything in one video, that's impossible. So if you want to get the gist of what I'm doing and be able to do it on your own, stick around because again, that is coming up right now. And we're rolling. Basically, I'm not going to wait for the video. Welcome everyone to Do More, Be More. Oh, come on, don't tell me this thing is still on. So I'm going to be as real as possible. I tried eating greens. I tried doing the eating clean. I tried basically just making sure that I'm eating whatever is known as healthy and just ignoring any desire that I had of eating things that I found to be delicious. I did that for maybe a couple of weeks and I thought, yeah, this is going to be good for me. And that's when I started going to the gym. So I joined Planet Fitness. I remember it was January 8th and I thought, this is going to be it. This is the 11th time that I say this is going to be it. But honestly, as always, I didn't enjoy the foods. I missed the fried chicken. I missed the potato chips, the burgers, the pizza, Spanish foods that maybe you guys won't know. But all these foods will always come back to me at the end of the day because nobody around me was doing the things that I was doing. Everybody wanted to eat whatever they wanted to eat. And especially as the COVID started hitting, everybody was eating for comfort, to feel better. They were stressed from being stuck at home. So they're like, screw it, I'm going to eat whatever I like. I could let myself go for a bit. And honestly, I think that's what a lot of people did. I took advantage to really focus on myself there. I did some research. I found out about a bunch of different theories. I never actually followed keto, but I found out a little bit more about it because you want to make sure that you also are informed of the things that you don't want to do, because you want to know that you're not doing these things for the right reasons rather than just simply because you want to listen to other people. Because if you're listening to people that are misinforming you, who knows what effects that can have on you. You know, not every diet is meant for every person. So that's why what I'm doing here, it's not a diet really. And I also don't want to say it's a lifestyle because this varies all the time. You know, my life and my meal plan does not revolve around a particular set of food groups. You know, one of the more things that I monitor more than anything is calories and protein, but that still have really broad horizons. I still eat carbs. I eat plenty of carbs. Actually, I don't even monitor lowering my carbs. The only thing I changed was increasing my protein, and my fat monitoring hasn't changed at all. You know, and maybe a little bit, but that's only because I'm looking for specific products that are fat-free because of the fact that they have higher protein. Nothing to do with how much fat they have or how few carbs they have. So basically, after watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of articles, and still working out and still dieting and still eating clean, I decided to just do some actual research, look for some consistency. And that's when I realized that there is no specific diet, there is no shortcut, there is no secret to losing fat. There's no way to spot reduce. You can't choose where you want to lose fat. Sit-ups, I know for a fact that are not going to be the solution for burning belly fat. And let's say you lose all that belly fat. Let's say you flatten your stomach. What about the fat that's under your arm? What about the fat that's by your neck, that's on the backside, by your legs, by your inner thighs? We have fat everywhere and we don't even realize it. And what I've learned after losing 65 pounds is that you have no idea where all this fat is stored. As you start losing it, and by the way, again, you cannot choose where to lose fat, you start to realize that there was actually a lot more fat than you thought, which is why people always tell you to make it a lifestyle. Because if you really want, and which in my case was to reach my absolute peak, you have to be on this for the long run. Think about a program like P90X, 3 months. Sounds like a long time, right? It's a great program. I've done it before, and I probably would do it again just to get some variety. But 3 months, that's to get yourself some results, but it's not to get you to your goal, especially if you have as much fat to lose as I did. So that's something to consider, that you want to make sure that everything you do in this program is something that's reliable, something that you're going to like and enjoy and want to do for a long time, because it's not going to feel like an adjustment anymore. You're not changing your life. You're not depriving yourself of things that you love. I include everything that I've ever loved within the meal plan that I have now. There's no such thing as cheat meals. That's right. I never cheat. Now, these are probably things that you probably hear from TikTokers and YouTubers all the time. But if you don't watch them, you're hearing it now. You're hearing it from me. If you know me personally, you get to see that these kind of theories have worked. There's no way around it. You've known me. If you've known me for a long time, you've known that I've always been big. Then I've maybe shedded some pounds, but then I've always came back to being big again. That's always been me. So this is no surgery. This is all natural, and it just took time and some dedication. Yeah, it was hard work in the sense you have to adapt to something, but once you adapt to something, it is amazingly easier. So that is what happened. I started watching the calories. I realized I have to know how many calories I have to consume every single day. And I went to a calculator online. There's many calculators online, by the way, but I'm going to show you one right here somewhere. And then I'll try to put one in the link in the bio as well, or in the description area. And you can actually go on here. You can put your age, you can put your activity level, your height, your weight. You'll get an estimate of how much you can consume as far as calories. So it'll give you the calories that you can consume if you want to maintain your weight, if you want to gain weight, and also if you want to lose weight. Before you decide this, you also have to realize, look at your body composition. If you think you're thin, you just want to tone up, some people will probably think, I want to turn my fat into muscle. That is wrong. That is completely wrong. Fat and muscle are completely different types of tissues, and it'll never turn into one another. That is like saying, this is a piece of bread, I'm going to consume it in a way that it'll become protein later. It's not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. So if you're thinking that you're going to turn your muscles from fat, that's not going to be the case. That is officially wrong. Now, the calorie consumption. Let's take a pound of fat. A pound of fat is measured by about, not really about, but 3,500 calories. So if you were going to be in a deficit, let's say you want to lose a pound of fat, you'd have to burn about 3,500 extra calories throughout the week to lose that 1 pound in that week. So that means that includes your activity, of course. This calculator will tell you how much you burn per day and how much you can eat so that you can get to a certain level in deficit or surplus. Because if you wanted to gain a pound, you'd have to eat 3,500 calories a week extra so that you can gain an extra pound per week. Not everybody wants to lose weight. So if you want to gain some muscle, you want to gain some size, that's what you do. That's what these calculators are for. And if you're happy with the way you are, now you know exactly where you got to be to maintain that proper peak physique that you have. So again, let's go back to being in a place where you want to tone up. We all have a lot more body fat than we think. Maybe 70% of us. So let's just say you want to tone up. Well, then all you'll need to do pretty much is sculpt the muscles, right? Well, try the deficit for some time and see how that works for you. Try maintaining it for a while and see how that works for you. And if you want to do some cardio, if you're being told that cardio is the best way to lose fat, it's the best way to lose calories, yes. But the best way to lose the fat is to be in a calorie deficit. You'll see after a few weeks, after a few months, and after a few years, well, a year I should say, amazing results. Because that is honestly the only way to lose unnecessary fat. anything like keto or paleo, they're revolving around losing that unnecessary fat, but it's also revolving around the fact of being in a calorie deficit. Weight Watchers, all these points that they have. I'm not discrediting anybody, but they're all going on the basis that you have to be in a deficit. The moment you're in a deficit is the moment you're going to lose fat and weight. So if you practice the calorie deficit, you're in more control of what you can eat. You no longer have to be told by someone that you can't eat carbs. You are no longer told by someone that you have to count numbers, such as units that aren't actually used to measure food, like calories and protein and carbs and fat. So you're becoming more in control of what you do, what you eat, and how you eat it. This is why people weigh their food. They weigh their food because they want to know either the ounces or the grams, and some scales will even have other measurements. Mine is very old school. Now, mine is one that I had in the house that my mom used to use when she used to make like pastries and stuff. So I still have it. There's no need to buy one, even if it does cost about $15 on Amazon. If you want one, by the way, I'll put one there. You can look in there somewhere or in the description. There's many suggestions there's many types of scales that are only about $15 or $20 if anything. They're super cheap and they will probably last you a lifetime. I hope you've enjoyed this first portion of a 2-part series of the overview of my meal plan. This is honestly, like I said, an overview, so there are some things that I'm able to go into in a little bit of detail, but there's a lot of detail that I'll be able to give to you further down the line in regards to specific things that I've done. Hopefully this is beneficial to you. If you want to give it a shot, by all means. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer them there. And then down the line, if you want me to make a video about any of those things, I'm happy to do that as well. Next week, we got part 2 coming up, which is going to go into in depth to more of these steps that I have taken, calculations that I had to take, and also, of course, adjust them in a way that I don't have to do it the way that I did it at first. It always takes adjustment, but I know that you will be able to understand it. So I do appreciate the support. Again, also for the comments, I'm happy to always see those and address those if I can. And also follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook. I would always appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, guys, you know, if you do more, you will always be more.